In the past, whenever I'd have to sit down and write any type of copy for a landing page, an email sequence, an ad, a website, you name it, I would freeze. The mere thought of having to write copy terrified me. I'd sit there for hours trying to figure out what to write. I'd hope words would magically appear in my brain. I'd procrastinate for hours. I'd even look at competitors and different websites just to get some inspiration. But it never felt right and nothing never sat correctly. But the day I discovered that all successful and talented copywriters use copy formulas, my life changed. Suddenly, writing a page would take a fraction of the time. Inspiration started flowing and conversions started increasing. Today, though I'm not a copywriter, when I need to start writing, I feel more confident and I know that I can do it equipped with the right research and with a good writing formula. There are hundreds of formulas we can get into, but we're in the business of creating a funnel in a few days. So today I'm going to share my favorite ones with you. And our goal is to complete writing your entire landing page today. So let's get started. Here's what we're going to write today. Your headline, subhead, call to action button, what's inside, bullet points, social proof, and about section. I've created a Google Doc for you that will help you write every single piece of copy we talk about today. So my suggestion is that you pause every time we finish talking about one specific section. You jump into the Google Doc, you complete that part of the writing, and come back into the training session. I believe that would be the most effective way to get today's exercise done. Now, since we've already started working on our headline, let's talk about the other part of our headline. As we saw yesterday, the headline of a landing page plays an important role of highlighting the value proposition and grabbing people's attention. But headlines don't work alone. Along with your headline comes a powerful subhead. Your headline's job is to emphasize the prospect's value and to tap into those desired outcomes. The subhead's job is to tell them exactly how that's going to happen. So essentially, you're going to explain how you're going to deliver that promise and value. Here are a few examples. Show, don't tell. Your customers' expectations are changing. Exceed them with the power of co-browse and live chat. Turn clicks into customers. Lead pages help small businesses connect with an audience, collect leads, and close sales. Easily build websites, landing pages, pop-ups, alert bars, and beyond. Make your side hustle your main hustle. Our all-in-one marketing platform gives you the tools to find the right customers, build your audience, and bring your brand to life. Get the answers you need. We get answers for 20 million questions daily. Get the feedback you need with the global leader in survey software. It shouldn't take 30 emails to schedule a 30-minute meeting. I love this headline. Book meetings faster with the smart scheduling power of Doodle. And lastly, great writing simplified. Compose, bold, clear, mistake-free writing with Grammarly's AI Power Writing Assistant. So all of these are paired together. The headline promising this desired outcome, this value that you've been craving for most, powered with that subhead that tells you how that's going to happen. Now, yesterday you used one of the formulas I gave you to write your headline. Now it's time to write your subhead to tie everything in together. At this point, a good practice would be to pause this video, jump into the Google Doc, and follow my instructions in there for optimizing your headline and writing that subhead. Okay, next up are call to action buttons. The call to action button is an extremely important element on the page. If the headline is there to emphasize the value and the subhead is there to tell you how that's going to happen, the call to action button is there to tell you what action you need to take to make it happen. Now, before we dive into call to action formulas, I want to remind you of a few call to action button rules. Number one, the call to action button should only have one goal, only one. So just ask for one thing and one thing only. They have to be very clear. People should be able to look at your call to action button and know instantly what is going to happen when they click on it. And lastly, I know we're constantly told to reduce the amount of copy that we use, but I'm here to tell you that it's okay to have long copy. It's okay to even have an entire sentence on your call to action button. If it has value, it can work. So length doesn't matter, only value. Okay, let's get down to writing your call to action buttons. Similar to headlines, there are many CTA formulas too, but I'm going to introduce you to the one that I use most. It's one that I picked up and adapted from Angie Shopwoolen. So it goes this way. I'd like to take a specific action because I want to value. So the way this works, and I'll give you an example. So I'd like to register now. That's the action people are going to take because I want to see jaw-dropping results in days. So your call to action button would look like this. You're essentially pairing the action that people need to take with the results they're going to get. I am very focused on showing people the value, and it's important. So you can have 2 words or 3 words on your call to action button, and below it have a sentence that reminds people of that value they're going to get. Here's another example. I'd like to donate now because I want to impact thousands of lives with 1 click. So here's another call to action button you can have. And the idea is that the value here is that you will affect thousands of lives. So this will increase my own self-esteem and what people will think about you. So again, the whole idea is pairing that action that people need to take with the value, reminding them why they're taking that action. Like I suggested before, you can jump into that Google Doc now and write out your call to action button. Now that we've covered the hero section, in terms of copy at least, it's time to dive into writing the what's inside copy. That's the copy that dives into even more specifics. You see, it's one thing making a promise in your headline, but now it's time to prove it. It's time to explain and show people that you are the right person to do this and to solve this for them. This next section on the page is where you connect further with your prospects. It's where you show them that you know them, that you understand them, that you're the right fit for them. You do this with all of that fantastic research that we did. We will be using a copy formula here too. One of the most popular ones that we use is called PAS, P-A-S. I'm going to break it down for you. So the PAS formula requires that you understand your audience's pain and their challenges so you can show them how you can solve the solution for them. It requires you to know how this pain affects their day-to-day, and it also requires that you know their desired outcome. Now, luckily, we've conducted all this meaningful research just a few days ago, so it's giving us this exact information. Now all we've got to do is add it in the right place. So PAS is great for people who know the pain, how it affects their lives, and their solutions. So it starts essentially with pain, the problem. What you do is you start your copy off with a pain. You spell it out to them. You make it tangible, and you clearly show that you understand the pain that they're experiencing every day. Then in the copy, you move into agitation. You explain how big this problem really is, how it affects them, why they need to fix it, how it's holding them back, and how much of impact it really has on their life. And lastly, you end by introducing the solution, a better way to dealing with this pain, something they haven't tried before, something that fits just like a glove. This is actually where you introduce yourself and you get them to take an action. So I'm going to show you an example. When it comes to marketing and growth hacks, do you sometimes feel like everyone has it figured out but you? You know you're smart and capable, but you get caught by surprise with an unexpected task or big project, and you realize you have no idea where to start. So you go to Google, of course. You read industry blogs, follow the gurus, try to piece together the right steps for you. But after hours in front of the computer screen, you're still flying blind, not sure what to do next. So this is the beginning of FlowJo, a product by my friend Tiffany De Silva, and she starts with the pain, and then she moves into the agitation, how this pain affects you. And lastly, she talks about the solution. Truly groundbreaking growth comes from tapping into your best, most accessible source of knowledge and experience. It's you, your team, your customers, and here's what it looks like. Challenging the status quo in your own business or your clients' businesses so you get an outpouring of fresh ideas, getting your team together for brainstorming and collaborating, breaking open your old packages and systems and bundling them in new, innovative ways. It's about taking action, one simple growth hack at a time. Introducing the FlowJo Growth Hacking Box, a powerful little box of 100 tested and proven growth hacks for marketers, entrepreneurs, and consultants. So again, a great, fantastic way of talking about the pain, agitating it, and showing how exactly it affects their everyday lives, and then introducing the solution. So that's what we're going to do right now. And for you to create something like this, it is going to be much easier than you may think. You already have all of this information. You have the pain, you know how it agitates people, and you have the solution. So what you want to do to make it clear as crystal is to grab this spreadsheet that I created for you. And what you're going to do is over here, place the top 3 pains that you have noticed that keep coming up from within your research. And over here, you're going to paste in all those quotes, those testimonials, those reviews, the comments that you found that agitate this specific pain. And then it's going to be so much easier for you to spell out that pain and say, hey, here's the pain that you're experiencing. Here is how I know that it's agitating you and causing you and annoying you in your life. And then you're going to introduce your solution. So now what you want to do is you want to jump into that Google Doc again and follow those instructions where I show you how to do exactly that and write your first piece of copy using the PAS formula. Now, if you need some inspiration, here's an example of how we did this with one of our clients. So this is Positive Parenting Solutions, and they offer a fantastic program, an online program for parenting. And what we did is we started with actual quotes. I've lost control of the house. I'm yelling all the time. Something has to change, but I don't even know what. Everyone knows being a parent isn't easy, but no one told you it would be like this. Now we get into agitation. No one told you that you'd spend your days yelling and screaming at the children you love. No one told you that you'd spend your nights tormented by guilt and regret over how angry and out of control you've become. No one told you that despite trying your best day in and day out, you could still end up feeling so helpless, so sad, and so completely alone as a parent. You've tried everything: timeouts, rewards, charts, counting to free, punishment. Nothing works. No matter what you do, everything feels like a battle. And in the end, we introduce the solution. Believe it or not, you're not alone. You can break the cycle, and it's easier and far less stressful than you think. Thousands of loving parents have endured the same pain and desperation you're feeling right now and found a way forward with Positive Parenting Solutions. Try our free class. We wrote this copy with Momoko Price. She's such a talented copywriter. But what's amazing about this is that almost every single word on this page is from the customer research that we did. And you can do exactly that by leveraging all the research that you did over the past few days. Now, our next step in writing our landing page copy is the bullet points. Most businesses use bullet points completely in the wrong way. They use them as a long list of features and adjectives to describe themselves and their solution. Common information you'll see is like Zoom over here, meetings, video webinar, conference room, phone system, business IM. Essentially just listing everything they have in their product. But a lot of this is Chinese to us. The thing is that brands forget that people don't sign up for features. They sign up for the value, for the emotional gain, for the pain it solves in their lives. So your bullet point list is a fantastic opportunity for more than just a grocery list of what you have. But it's a way to explain the value of each item. So here's a formula that I created and I follow all the time for my clients in my own business. Benefit plus desired outcome equals valuable bullet points. So your bullet points are meant to strengthen the emotional value of your sale. They're there to remove the burden of the decision. So your prospect can immediately see the value in what you're offering on an emotional level. And they won't need to start thinking and asking themselves if this makes sense or if it's even worth it. So let me show you a few examples. For an online parenting course, what you get, word by word scripts for handling back talk. But the desired outcome, the value of it, is confidently and calmly handling any crisis, no matter what life throws at you. So we pair these two together. For landing page software, build faster landing pages. That's the benefit. But the desired outcome is without having to rely on developers. That's the value that you get from it. For an online marketing course, master the newest strategies. The value you get is you're going to gain your CEO's trust and confidence. So you pair all of this together and you make it one. And then you can say, build faster landing pages without having to rely on developers, or get word-by-word scripts to hand in backdoor, and confidently and calmly handle any crisis no matter what life throws at you. Master the newest strategies and gain your CEO's trust and confidence. So you want to pair those together. Let's jump into our doc right now and fill those out. Okay, so what you want to do here is very simple. Over here, you're going to mention the first benefit or the feature that you have. Then you're going to mention the value, and then you're just going to pair them together. And you're going to do that for 3 of your main top features. Next, we're going to talk about one of the most important elements on a landing page, social proof. Social proof is a way of gaining your prospects' trust, proving you are who you say you are, and most importantly, addressing the biggest concerns and objections that your prospects may have. Social proof exists to support your messaging, your design, the colors, and the entire content strategy. It's there to create a better customer experience and to sell. It's not there to brag. So really important. Social proof done well can help the customer visualize themselves using your solution, feeling safe with choosing you and getting answers to all their concerns they have in a trustworthy way. Now, there are many different types of social proof. You could use a call to action, which says how many people have actually been using your product. So over 4,000 companies signed up in the last week alone. That's Basecamp. 98% of Fortune 500 companies rely on SurveyMonkey, and they show the logos of the companies using their products. You're in good company, and they show the companies that are using these products, and they're offering some case studies. Or you can even have, of course, an actual testimonial. This is for type 1. So what you want to do is make sure that you use one of these, or 2 or 3, a combination of these on your landing page. Now, here's what you should always include in your social proof. One is the information about the person giving the testimonial, authentic images, quotes if you can, address what matters. So the pain, hesitation, the concerns. And what I mean by that is don't get to someone to say, oh, this is the best company I've ever worked with, but get them to tell a story. They were worried about X, and this is how you solved it for them. Now you're already equipped to start using social proof in the most high converting way, because all you have to do is go back to that spreadsheet, identify the most common concerns people had before trying the solution, and then you could reach out to your clients and say, how did we solve this for you? It's a more authentic story, and that's why storytelling is so important in that actual space of social proof. So if you jump into that Google Doc right now, you also have a step-by-step explanation of how to find the best testimonials and how to pair it with great quotes and visuals. The last and final piece of our landing page today, one of the most important elements of the page is the About section. Now, the About section is one of the sections that is almost always used incorrectly. Funnily enough, and here's a newsflash, the About section isn't about you at all. It shouldn't be used as a place to show off, to brag, or to dive into your entire manifesto of showcasing how awesome you are, though I'm sure you really are. The About section is where you make that first personal connection with your prospect. And the whole landing page is in charge of it. But the About section is where they get to know you. They want to feel comfortable from the person they're buying from. It's where they find out that you get them. It's where you tell them that you show them that you're trustworthy. That's where you become more likable, and they believe who you are, and they're more likely to feel comfortable in buying from you and becoming your lifetime customer or client. So essentially, you should use the About section to show your prospects you've been where they are right now, you've experienced that pain too, you've solved it, and that's why they should trust you. So here's an example. Tiffany DeSilva, again with FlowJo, she says, I created FlowJo to solve a problem I experienced regularly during my 10 years of growth marketing. So she goes into the entire story of what she went out, what she tried, what she's been through, how she tried solving this problem before, and why it didn't work. And then she says, so I built a document with all the growth hacks I had ever used. And after that I was done, I still felt overwhelmed. So she introduces herself and explains This is who I am, and that's how FlowJo was built. And this is why it's so good for you. So this is a fantastic way of doing an About Us section. It's where you first present the problem you're trying to solve, how you went through it yourself, how you tried different solutions that you know that your prospects are trying right now too, and only then saying why this product is so amazing. Here's another example by Gia and Claire, who are great friends of mine. As two veterans of high-growth startup life, we're intimately familiar with the pressures of working at a fast-paced tech company, and we know firsthand how pivotal marketing is in generating early demand. So they get into the pain people feel in their daily jobs, and then they explain who they are and why they're trustworthy. Now, one of the things that you'll notice here is that many people actually use PAS, again, the past formula, to write the About section, and I find it brilliant. I think it's a great way to do that. So if you're struggling in writing your own About section, try doing it with that. Write about the pain that you were experiencing, agitate how terrible it was for you in your life or in your day job, and then explain the solution that you found and why you're actually offering to everyone else. All right, today's session included many different formulas and a step-by-step action plan for writing your entire landing page copy. It's time to put all this down into your Google document if you haven't been doing this throughout the session, and start writing. See you tomorrow when we start talking about landing page design.